Hey guys, tēnā koutou, no mai, haere mai, and thank you once again for joining in with us. Look, my name's Prudence. I'm going to have a talk to the lovely Maile and the even lovelier Brian about their experience coming to New Zealand and getting a job in New Zealand. So we're just going to spend about 10 minutes going through it chronologically, what you did, where you found your information, what was good, what was bad. So just let's introduce yourselves.
All right, my name is Maile. I am a nurse from the United States. I've been in Dunedin, New Zealand, we're heading up on a year in July, so.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, that's amazing.
My name is Brian. I'm a husband of a nurse that moved to New Zealand. And I came along with her. I won the jackpot.
Yeah.
Great. So tell me, Maile, first of all, how did you find out about Accent or even thinking about moving to New Zealand?
Well, we have been talking about moving to New Zealand
since we got together.
Since our first date, honestly.
Awesome.
Yeah. Separately, we both have been wanting to move to New Zealand, and when we started dating, it was like, that's amazing.
How do we make this happen?
Yeah, let's make this happen. And it took a few years to save up money and pay off debt before we actually looked at doing it seriously. And then in the meantime, I've been following a couple of Facebook groups, and one of them was moving to New Zealand, and Accent Health pops up all the time there. So when I was ready, I reached out and was like, all right, what do I need to do?
Excellent. So you sent an email, I guess, just to start, and then what happened? Started a ball rolling?
Yeah, just pretty much got some information, which was like, you need to get registered with the New Zealand Nursing Council. When you're almost done with that process, reach back out and we'll start setting up interviews and getting the ball rolling. But there's not much that you guys can do unless we're close to being licensed. So yeah, that part kind of did on my own. And it took almost a year to get licensed. So yeah.
Okay. And when you were registered, what happened next?
When I was close to being registered, then you guys helped set up. I actually only had one interview, but that was the job I wanted, so it was quite easy.
It's perfect. I was like, I got the job. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did you have the interview?
Well, as you know, I send you guys my CV and you send me a list of jobs that I might be interested in.
Yep.
So pretty much my number one pick in our top city was the job that I interviewed for.
Yep.
And Accent Health helps set that up. So they pretty much, you guys help walk me through the process of things they might be asking, things to know about. Here's the time, show up for the Zoom interview here, and just made it so easy to use you guys. So yeah.
Nice. And so your interview with the client in Dunedin, was that by Zoom or Skype or?
Yeah, I think it was one of those.
Yeah. Yep. And what sort of questions did they ask during that interview? Can you remember? Did she tell you, Brian?
She probably did, but I don't remember that.
So it was funny because that's probably the interview I've been most nervous for in my entire life, because you just feel like there's so much riding on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And you guys sent this big list of questions they might ask.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I spent like a week.
Well done.
Just my answers. So I honestly don't remember what they asked, but it was off of that list. So go through the list. Yeah. And it's very casual, Kiwis, they kind of want to get to know who you are. So they want to know your story, why you want to move there. They kind of just get a sense of who you are and how you'll fit in with the team. Yeah. So it's definitely a bit more casual than other interviews I've had.
I do remember
which is really nice.
There were some things you told them and they're like, wait, you have to take care of how many patients?
Oh, yeah.
Like the way things are handled in America, they're kind of
talking about patient ratios.
Yeah.
Great. So how long did it take to get offered the job after the interview? Can you remember that?
I I think within a few days, I found out they were interested in me, and then it took another couple weeks for the official job offer.
Paperwork. And then you applied for a visa, and by memory, you were in quarantine.
Yeah.
Back in the COVID days.
Yeah, we had to do 2 weeks of MIQ. So quite the experience.
Yeah.
Great. So you've been here a year now. Tell me about your first couple of weeks at work. What was that like?
Totally overwhelming. Yeah. So I was lucky. I've got a strong background in mental health, and I went to a mental health job. So the actual nursing knowledge part was easy, but it's a whole different healthcare system. There's a lot of phrases I've never heard before. The structure's different. Community involvement's different. So I was constantly like, what? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And then you throw in the accent. And it doesn't faze me now, but your first few weeks here, you know, I would have to be like, what did you just say? I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah. How did you get around it?
Just time, right?
Just time.
Yeah.
You just make it through the day, and you ask a lot of questions, and you go home and you're really, really tired.
And just be patient with yourself. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
I definitely had a
partner will look after you.
Yeah. I would definitely come home though and be exhausted and sometimes tearful, and because you feel like a brand new nurse again. So you kind of go from being like the expert to feeling like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, sure. So that was a hard part. What went really easily? What went well?
At work?
Yeah.
I got really lucky. I've got a really good team. So they were very supportive and reassuring. And it's more laid back. So you actually get real breaks. You get like a morning break and a lunch break. And so it's not as stressful. So the adjustment to not being super stressed out was really nice. Yeah,
great. So what advice would you give someone who was at the I'm ready to get interviewed stage, or I'm ready to commit to coming to New Zealand?
I would say probably the first thing would be do everything you can to get your New Zealand nursing license.
Yeah.
Because that took so long.
Start that now. Yeah, it could take a long time.
If we knew how long that would take, we would have started that when we first started talking about moving to New Zealand.
Yeah, because you can your New Zealand nursing license years before you move here. Just renew it. Yeah. So that's one thing. The other thing is be patient. We had some periods where I just thought this is never going to happen. Yeah. And because things were moving so slow.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it
was happening really fast.
It was happening really fast.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Do what you can now. Get rid of your stuff. Downsize, because once you get that interview, things happen really, really fast.
Sure.
Like you could be in New Zealand within 3 months of that interview.
Yeah.
So even though it feels like it's dragging, just do what you can before you get over here and go with the flow, because you're going to land and it's going to be totally overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's a whole new culture. And so just go with it and be patient.
Yeah. So speaking about things that you can do now, obviously registration is really important. Police checks you can get now, but they only last for about 6 months. But sort of updating your CV, preparing referees, doing a bit of research, I think works really well. So thinking back about when you first arrived and started work, were there different cultures that you worked with, different nationalities?
Oh, yeah. Very, very diverse. I don't know if it's around the country, but in Dunedin, there's probably 15 different nationalities that I work with on my ward. Yeah. So Kiwis are also used to having foreign nurses who don't know the lingo and are having trouble with the accents. And so you're not going to be alone, in that.
Yeah. Great. So that's work. Outside work, where have you been in New Zealand?
I'll let you.
Oh, I mean, we've been around a lot of places. When we came here right before we got married, and we traveled around the North Island together. Prior to that, I'd come here in a 3-month trip and traveled around both islands. Since we moved here, though, we've been to the fjords. We've been to Queenstown,
Lake Tekapo, Mount Cook,
Yeah.
so South Island.
We love the South Island.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Lovely. Anything else you'd like to say to someone looking to come to New Zealand? Any highs, any lows, anything in particular?
I would just say, if you want a work-life balance and you want more of a laid-back lifestyle, then this is the place to come, because I am so much happier here and I have a lot less anxiety.
Great.
And life is good.
Yeah.
We don't really have any complaints. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to celebrating your 1 year of work in New Zealand, and you have to come visit us in Christchurch.
yeah, we do.
Yeah, you're just up the road.
Yeah, pretty much 4 hours. Lovely. Well, look, keep warm this weekend. Winter's approaching in New Zealand, and we've got summer around the corner. So thank you so much, ka kite, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks,
Prudence.